Hello everyone, we are back. Thank y'all for trying to get used to this new system. I still haven't got used to it yet with the once a week thing. It seems like a long time. I forget how to work my equipment here. It's been so long. Let me check Facebook. William Moore on Facebook. What's going on, William Moore? So we're rolling on Facebook. Already got people in the room. That's good. So y'all didn't forget about me now that we went to once a week. Gene Henson, what's going on, man? Warm or sunny and 40. Golf Cart Garage, the main office, the warehouse in Cleveland, says sunny and 40. Still too cold for golf. Kirk, seems like forever since we seen each other. Got my swag last Saturday. Thanks. No problem, Kirk. I'm glad you got it. Big Mike, feel like it's 27 years since I've seen y'all. Yeah, it does feel like that, kind of. 34 and gloomy in northwest Indiana. Helpless Garage in Cabot, Arkansas. Greetings. Hope all is doing well. Beautiful. 54 under sunny skies. It is pretty outside, isn't it, Helpless? It's a beautiful day here in central Arkansas. I mean, it was like, unbearably cold, it seemed like yesterday, and now it's perfect. I mean, we're back to hoodie and shorts, and the rest of my outfit is, remember I told you that my favorite outfit is hoodie and shorts. Well, the rest of it is Crocs and socks. So it's hoodie, shorts, Crocs, and socks. That's my outfit. That's my to-go outfit there. Exceptionally warm, 50 degrees in Lake City, Minnesota, Mason Grove. What's going on, Mason? Fish, what's going on, Fish? What's up, brother? Tim from Keith, hey Tim from Keith in Palmetto, Florida. 50 in Bristol, nice. Easy Mike to you, howdy folks. What's up, Easy Mike? Ricky Smith, missed everyone, it's been so long. Jeffrey, what's going on, Jeffrey? 21 in Pocono. Just checking in, still cold in Florida. Clay Mathis. 41 West Central Indiana, Gary England. What's going on, fellas? Let me see on Facebook. Bart Gilman, good morning from Jackson, California. Just stopped raining. Looks like you shaved. Oh, yeah, I did. Actually, this is not Tim. This is Tim's younger brother. That's what Iman said when he saw me today. He said that Tim's must not be working today. It must be his younger brother. Back in Indiana, 37 and cloudy. Kevin, what's going on, Kevin? Sir Walter, it's been so long since the last episode. Tim lost some hair. I did. Yep. That's my outfit, Fish. Since I work from home, I don't have anybody to impress, so it's hoodie, shorts, Crocs, and socks. That's my outfit, man. And when I go to town, when country goes to town, I may change it up a little bit. But Rock Dog, what's going on, brother? Just stopped in to say hi and goodbye. Work has got me busy. 56 and sunny in Athens. All right, man. Appreciate you stopping in. This is Harry Fight. You remember today. All right, Harry. You should get a notification, Harry, if you subscribe. Did you get notifications? Jeffrey says, you should see my hair. I haven't not cut it in 3 years. Robert Edwards, Bob Edwards from West Virginia, 45 and sunny. What's going on, Bob Edwards? Joe Foster, 43, Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Oh, use computer, not the phone. I got you, Harry. Follow us on Facebook and YouTube if you haven't already. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And here's the other platforms you can follow us on. Now this is, of course, if you like to talk about golf carts, which we all do. Golf carts are pretty cool if you ask me. They're not just for golf. In fact, my clientele, Ed, when I was running my shop in East Texas, was probably 75% not golf and 25% golf. Now, I did take care of a golf course. That was the major, probably my biggest client was I had 55 DSIQs that I took care of right down the road from my house. But that was probably my biggest client. But the people that would just come to my shop, it was probably about 75% not golf, but it was property owners. Rich Eastmain, what's going on? This is Tuesday the 6th. We are now on a once-a-week schedule. I'm sure most of you know that. So every Tuesday, Tim Taco Tuesday, Tim Talks Tuesday, ever how you want to remember it. TTT, Tim Talks Tuesday. That's what it is. We are live right now, 12 noon Central Time. Everything else is the same. We just dropped Thursday for now. I've been doing the paid call thing, and it's looking promising. It's got some potential. Still got bugs in the system that we're trying to work out, but that's what this is all about. We dropped one of the lives so I could take more paid calls. So it's doing all right. Eric Boucher says, I have a question. I've installed my rattlesnake in all wires in 2 gauge. I'm wondering the forward and reverse lever. I'm wondering the forward and reverse lever, the wires that are on there. Do they need to be also? If we're talking about a series cart, Eric, then yes. Because if you don't, then that's going to be your weak spot. It's going to create a bottleneck. If we're talking about a series cart with a mechanical forward and reverse, yes, those wires that go to the forward and reverse, they pass just as many amps through those as the wires connected to your batteries. So it's exactly the same. So if you had a smaller wire there, that's going to be your bottleneck. If you have if you have a resistance bottleneck at all, then that's where it would be located if you don't change those. So yes, you got to make every one of those wires bigger. Thursday was a lonesome day without a dose of GCG. Joe Foster. Thank you, sir. Sir Walter, I'm part of the 75%. I keep mine at the beach house and back and forth to the water. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Ain't no doubt about it. Kurt, just a little info. I decided it was time to check air in my tires. Found 7 pounds. Added air and gained 2 miles per hour. So check those tires. Well, that's true, Kurt. That's a good point. Electric cars, suffer more of a degradation in speed with low tires, running around on low tires, than gas cars do. Sometimes you can't even tell it on a gas car, but you'll lose on an electric car, on a completely stock electric car. You'll lose some speed and you'll lose some torque because it's more rolling resistance when the tires are low. I mean, I don't know if you've ever tried to push an electric car when it has a flat, even just one flat. I mean, that'll give you a hint of the load that it's trying to pull around when the tires are low. Time to check the air in my tire. Yep, Clay Mathis. Don't think we've seen that cart behind. Yeah, you have. That's my, that's my personal cart. It still needs a set of batteries. I still haven't pulled the trigger on lithium, but so it doesn't have any batteries in it. Eric, okay, where can I get wire ends with the little hole on it that'll fit 2 gauge? You got to look around. You must be talking about you're talking about a club car? Is that why you have the little hole? Is that what you're saying? I had to look around and find that. I mean, it took some internet search. Mr. Tim, John Shear, thank you, sir. Been playing carpenter, Jeffrey says, because of the weather, my own house. Easy Mike, I dropped off my tires from 20 down to 1 mile per hour difference on the Easy Mike to you, from 20 to 22 to 10. Fish says, I was testing my batteries the other day, 48 volt, Club Car Precedent. I checked each one individually and they all dropped 7.4 to 7.5 and stayed there while under load going up a decent hill. That sounds normal, Fish. Robert Edwards, can Golf Cart Garage add wiring harnesses to your store for the IQ system to mod old DS cars. Robert, call and check, because I think we already have that. It just may not be on the website. So call Golf Cart Garage and talk to one of the operators. I am almost sure that we sell an IQ wiring harness, but it may not be on the not be on the website. Sometimes we have to take products off of the website just to make room. It's some internet e-commerce stuff that has to take place. It doesn't mean that we don't have access to that part. Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about, Eric. You're talking about those two. There's actually two that have a real small hole on them. Yep, you're going to need to find those. I'm trying to think if I have some, because anytime I used to order any kind of specialty item like that, I would always order like twice as many as I needed in case it came up again. But you're going to need some for 2-gauge wire if that's what you're going to. Yeah, that may be difficult to find, but there's some out there. Harry says check Amazon. They got a lot of different cable ends. 2-gauge Harbor Freight. Jeffrey, he's talking about on a Club Car DS, mechanical forward and reverse switch. There's 2 big wires that are on the back side of that, but they have a little bitty hole. It's not a 5/16 eyelet. It's a little bitty eyelet that is what he needs in order for it to fit correctly. What's up, y'all? In Brunswick, Georgia for work. Got to run. All right, Craig. Kevin Rabbit on Facebook. Hey Tim, Sunny 65 in Port Aransas. Enjoyed last week's episode, especially about putting 22-inch tires on 8-inch rims for a softer ride. I'd really like to do that, but I'm still running the resistor setup in my old Cushman. Is that for sure a no-go? My resistors run pretty cool with my single lithium. I wouldn't recommend it, Kevin. But if they're running cool now with your single lithium, those 22s on 8s are going to put more of a strain on there. And I normally would never recommend lifting or taller tires on a resistor system. I normally wouldn't do that. So that would be one of those at your own risk kind of deals, you know. Dennis Dean. Dennis from St. Elmo, Texas. What's up, Dennis Dean? Thank you for stopping in, sir. Fish, I'm going to look at a 2020 Club Car Precedent with a stock lithium battery. How can I determine if the battery is still good? On a stock lithium, about the only way that I know of on a stock lithium, because I don't have I'm sure there's probably a discharge tester out there for that, but the ones I have, the regular discharge testers are the most common ones are going to be for lead acid batteries. So you're going to have to find some kind of discharge machine that's specific for a lithium battery. That would be the only way, other than drive the cart and see how many miles you get out of it. I mean, that'd be one way too. Just get on it and see how many miles you can go before the lithium shuts itself off. But that might be difficult. But you're going to have to look for a discharge machine. That'd be the only thing you could do. A specific one for lithium. Tommy Bedford, hey, uh-oh, I lost the picture for a second. Hey Tim, did I hear something about you only being on here Tuesdays now? Yes, Tommy, we have gone to a 1-day-a-week schedule here. As you know, I'm a part of the Gearheads on Demand service at Golf Cart Garage. Now the Gearheads on Demand service has gone to a paid service. So at the end of each episode, I post a tile up there that talks about the pricing tiers. So you could schedule a call with me for free, and I'd call you and everything. We did that, but this whole time that I've been doing that, they've been trying to figure out a way to make that a paid service, and we finally launched it. So it's now a paid service. So in order to free up some more of my time, in order to see how good this paid service is going to do, we had to drop one of my lives. Now this is still free, but we dropped one of my free lives. So we're now only on Tuesdays at 12 noon Central Time. Let me check over there. That's good. All right, we better get ready on the questions here. Get going on the questions. I've already been in here 15 minutes. Question number 1 is from Grant. I have a Club Car Tempo gas. I put a ROX 4-inch A-arm lift kit with 14-inch wheels and off-road tires. I love the way it looks, but the ride quality is terrible and it's super stiff. Any tips on how to make the ride more forgiving? I mean, here lately we've been talking about this subject almost every episode. That's why last episode I posted a picture of a cart that I did with 22s on 8s. And I talked about how it should have been nicknamed the floater because it was so smooth with the 22s on 8s, and you got a lot of room to play with your air pressure. Well, I was looking through some old pictures for some other, let's see, carts that I could post that I built. I found another one that I had done. I'm not going to show it today, but I'll show it maybe next episode. Apparently I used to like 22s on 8s because I found a couple of carts that I had lifted for customers that with 22s on 8s. Jeffrey, good luck finding those Lester discharge are gone off of eBay. Yeah, he needs something specific for a lithium, Jeffrey. I don't even know if Lester even has something like that, but he needs to discharge test that lithium battery. Rock Dog knows a little bit about that, but I don't know if he's still in there, but he had been doing some stuff like that. He's got some kind. Apparently there is some type of discharge tester out there to test lithiums, because I remember talking to Rock Dog about it. Okay, the only thing you can do for question 1, this was from Grant. The only thing you can do at this point, if you don't want to go to 22s on 8s, because that will smooth your ride out, because you're on 14s. So, I mean, you don't have very much sidewall of no matter what size tire you got on there. So you got 14-inch. That's the recipe for a stiff ride. That's the recipe for an asphalt cart, that's riding around on smooth asphalt. The only thing you can do that would be smaller rims, and if you're running heavy-duty leaf springs, change them back to stock. Sir Walter, can he rely on battery monitors to see condition of lithium? If they changed it to a lithium battery monitor, yes. Yeah, because a lithium has to be, the battery monitor for lithium has to be specific for a lithium. It's not going to be accurate on a lead acid, and vice versa won't be accurate either. A lead acid battery monitor won't be accurate on lithium. So if that car has the correct battery monitor, then he could check that out, see how many miles he is, when it starts to get into unsafe territory. But that BMS will shut him down once it gets into real unsafe territory. It's going to shut the cart completely down. So that's why I was saying driving it might be a little difficult. Number 2, from Rick. How do you remove the panel under the front seat back on a club car precedent? I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think it's got 2 plastic screws. Somebody with a club car precedent. I believe they're talking about the access panel. The access panel, right there where the motor's at, on the electric, right there under the front seat back, I think there's 2 little plastic screws, isn't it? Anyone else buffering today? I actually just saw something on my screen, Easy Mike to you. I saw a little red thing pop up for a second. It's gone back to green now. So I think there was a slight buffer there just a second ago, right before you typed that. Buffering issue. Okay, we'll slow down here just for a second and then see if it clears up. Looks like Facebook is still going. Video to maintain smooth. So this is the error code that I'm seeing. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Hopefully it will clear up here in a second. Keith says, I think you're having a few issues with your internet. You have frozen a few times. Plastic screws, Jeff. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought there was 2 plastic screws back there, Jeffrey. Thank you. Kevin says we had a buffer issue on Facebook as well. Okay, I'm showing good. I'm showing things are good now. Well, hopefully it'll clear up. There's nothing I can do. I'm showing green now. Facebook's running. I think it might be cleared up now. I'm showing excellent connection now. All right, I just slowed down. Hopefully it cleared up. Number 3. This is from Peter. I live in a golf neighborhood. Most of my cart travels are in the neighborhood to the clubs or driving range, a mile or 2 max. When I actually play golf, 18 holes, pretty hilly, and maybe an extra 1 to 2 miles of commuting in the cart to and from the course and the range. Which battery amp hours would you guys recommend? Is a 100 amp hour overkill or worth the extra money? I'm going to order the Summit 2 charger. I do like that option. All right, that's from Peter. Now, Peter, first you got to make sure of this. You got to make sure that, I'm assuming that we're talking about lithium. Since you're asking me about the size of amp hour pack, I'm assuming that we're talking about the fact that you're thinking of going to a lithium. If your golf cart is completely stock and you have been able to do that distance that you know, with a good set of lead acid batteries, then you can go for the smaller amp hour lithium pack, because that's designed to be like the 60 amp hour. Those are designed to be as a replacement pack for your original lead acid pack. So in other words, you get about the same range out of one of those as you'd get out of a lead acid pack. They're not going to, they don't make some that'll give you, they try to, you know, start where it's going to be an equal replacement to your lead acid pack. And that would be in the 50 amp and 60 amp hour range. So anything over that is going to give you extended range time. But those small packs are only recommended for completely stock golf carts. Like if you've got a heavy duty controller, if you're lifted with taller tires, if you've got anything on your car that's causing a higher strain on your electrical system, then you're going to need to go with one of the bigger packs. Or because that little small lithium pack is going to be too much of a strain on it, and that BMS is going to take over and shut it down. So I don't know if I answered all your questions or not yet. Is 100 amp hour overkill or worth the extra money? Well, it depends on the things that I said. It depends on, is your golf cart completely stock? If it is, then you could get away with a smaller, less expensive lithium pack is what I'm saying. But you also got to make sure that whichever manufacturer you go with on your lithium, you have to make sure that that Summit 2 charger is approved as a charger, or they may not warranty. You know, they may, the lithium manufacturers that I'm familiar with, they recommend you use their charger. They don't, you know, they don't all approve the Summit 2 charger. So you got to check and make sure before you do that. All right, that was number 3. Number 4. Easy mic to you. Mine is 20 inch. What is, Mike? Mason Grove, this is good information to know. I'll get back to number 4. He says his stock 2022 Club Car Tempo has a 59 amp lithium, stays at golf course and can get 36 holes. See, that's what I'm saying. Those small amp hour packs are fine. Stock golf carts, they're going to be at least, according to that data, they're going to be at least as strong as your original lead acid pack. All right, so if your car is not lifted with taller tires, you can get away with the smaller, less expensive pack. Thank you, Mason. Tommy says go with 100 amp hours so you have no regrets. See, now that's a good point too. If you ever plan on any upgrades in the future, because if these lithium packs last as long as the manufacturers say they're going to last, how do you know what you're going to want to do 5 years from now? I mean, if they're talking 10 years, on some of these lithium packs. Oh, your tires are 20. Yeah, I like 20s. 20s are cool with me. That's just 20s on. That's 20s on 10s. And that's not bad as far as stiffness or anything goes. It gives you a little bit of air pressure to play with, but 22s on 8s, oh man, that gives you a lot. 28 miles on one charge, easy mic to you. All right, cool. Big Mike says, I'm definitely either going gas or a big beefy lithium setup. Same with me. Yep, that's the exact same way with me. I like gas. I think gas cars are really cool, especially ones that are in good shape, are brand new or new or low hours. I think they're really cool because you literally don't have to do anything. It's a lot of people think, I think we talked about this, like the pros and the cons, or did we talk about that? I don't know if we did or not. Anyway, I could go on a big old rant for a whole hour on pros and cons of gas versus electric and how lithium changed that competition a little bit. When you're talking about lead acid against gas, you got a pro and con list. But now you put lithium against gas, and lithium takes away some of the cons that lead acid had. So it does a little better, on that competition scale when you're comparing it to gas. Let me check over here. Looks like we're back to the good connection anyway, but we did buffer. I saw it on my screen. A red error thing came up. What was number 4? From Don. I purchased a 2006 Club Car Precedent Champions Edition, and I'm wondering if the parts for the stock Precedent models are the right ones to replace the broken parts on my car. I am not sure if Champions is a modified version of the Precedent or if the parts are the same fit. Can you help confirm this? Thank you. Yes, I can, Don. They're the same. A Club Car Precedent Champions Edition is nothing more than a fancy paint job, fancy rims, but as far as the mechanical parts, they're going to be the same. Gary England says fuel injection on golf carts is awesome. I think so too. I've always liked gas cars, even though I was involved in racing and I was in the electric division and all that stuff. Gas carts are the way that they work. It's so convenient. It's such a convenient vehicle to have. Lithium is awesome. Yes, it is. Mason says electric is nice on golf course so you can drive while people are hitting. Well, yeah, that's true. You have to admit though, a good gas golf cart is pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. Eric says, can you tell me who manufactures the DS forward and reverse switch? I've been looking for many hours, days, and can't find them. I'm pretty sure that we sell some here, don't we? You're going to want to get a heavy duty one. They make a heavy duty forward and reverse switch for a DS. Call up Golf Cart Garage and talk to somebody about that. You want a heavy duty DS mechanical forward and reverse switch for your car. And see what they come up with. It might be one of those products that is not on the site anymore. I'm almost positive it used to be on the site, but it may not be on the site, but we still have access to it if I'm right. Big Mike, are you seeing the prices coming down at all. Golf carts were at a premium around us. I'm not seeing them coming down. I hear about prices every day, and it just blows me away. Golf carts that I used to sell a lot of golf carts for around $2,500. And that would be an example would be like a fleet car off of a golf course, and all I did was clean it, make sure everything was mechanically correct, new batteries. Almost every used golf cart I sold had brand new batteries in it. Brand new Trojan T105s if it was a 36 volt, brand new T875s if it was a 48. And I'd put a cargo box on the back, like I was talking about earlier. You know, a lot of my clientele was property owners. So I sold many golf carts like that for like $2,500. That'd be $3,500 or $3,700 nowadays. Well, it's mostly gas, but sold a lot of electric last summer. Going to be a lot of unhappy people this summer. Mason Grove, agree. The newer ones are. D-Max, what's going on, D-Max? Did you just come in? What's up, man? Number 5. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't think I'd seen you. What's going on? Number 5 is from Daniel. I added distilled water to each cell in my battery pack, but when I plugged in the automatic charger overnight, it is stuck on only 1/2 charge and is running hot. I'm hesitant to take the cart out for fear of it dying before I get home. The batteries are US, 6-8 volt US batteries. They're just 2 years old and have been doing just fine. You think I may have slightly overfilled them. Now, overfilling them is not going to cause that issue. Now, what will cause that issue is that charger trying to charge a really, really dead battery pack. Yeah, that can cause that issue. So I would want to know what your individual voltages were. If it's starting to run hot, that means it's really straining. That means the voltage is not coming up in the batteries like it should. But you overfilling them should not cause that. So first take a voltmeter and take individual voltage readings on each battery and see where they're at. They should be 8 plus. All right. So if they're not, then that might be your issue. You might have to charge it in stages. In other words, charge it for a couple of hours or so till it gets hot, turn it off, and walk away from it. Come back the next day when everything's cooled down, do it again. And maybe eventually you'll get it up to a full charge where it will be easy for it to go up. Call now, on hold. Paul Fortune, how do I know if I have connected the solenoid correctly? Okay, well the two wires on the big post don't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter which way, because when the solenoid activates, the only thing that it does is connects those 2 big wires on the 2 large posts. Okay, it connects those 2, so those 2 don't matter. Now, the 2 small posts on the solenoid, if it has a diode in between the 2 small posts, then it does matter. Then one of them's positive, one of them negative. If there's no diode, those 2 don't matter. But, a wiring diagram is your best friend. Tim, with all these lithium batteries on the market, do you think the price will start to come down? I initially thought that, Kurt. I did. Initially, I said, well, now that there's so much more competition, well, and it did. It did for a while. Now there's many, many different brands of the lithium batteries, and the price did come down. The reason that, lithium was available way back then when I used to race. It was available back then. You could get it. But it was way more expensive than it is now. So that is evidence that the price has come down. Now, but what has happened, it seems, it has come down to the point because all this competition is out there, but it's kind of staying there now. I don't think they're going to get any cheaper than they are now. I think they're always going to be more expensive than lead acid. Lithiums have a DMAX, they have a BMS, so their system is going to be, it's way more complicated. They do like to be balanced, and that BMS takes care of all that, so it's going to be specific to their charger. You know, whatever charger that they come with, it's going to be designed to be able to be left in all the time, keep all the cells balanced, because that, believe it or not, inside, like if you get one of those one lithium batteries, those one battery lithium batteries, like a 136 volt or 148, inside that battery, there's a bunch of little bitty small batteries inside there. And that BMS is actually connected to each one of those batteries inside there. And it is monitoring the voltage on each one of those. Lots of places where things can go wrong. That's why they have to have a BMS. So you're going to do whatever, I guess the answer to your question would be you're going to do whatever that manufacturer recommends when it comes to that. Easy Mike to use got one. He says he charges it every 2 to 3 weeks. William Rizzo, what's going on, William? No diode. Well, I think I demonstrated that not too long ago with a solenoid. I had a solenoid out here, and yeah. This one's got a diode though. You might not can see it, but there is a little diode in between the two small posts on this one. But it doesn't matter if there's no diode. You put your if it had 2 wires on it before, put those on there, and as soon as you hit the pedal, it's going to click and activate it. I always hit thumbs up before anything because Tim and GCG never disappoint. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. Bruce, Westfield, Wisconsin. Running late, but I made it. Thank you for showing up, Bruce. I meant to say earlier, RIP Toby. Jeff, who is Toby? Same here, Greg. Thank you, Ricky. If the cart moves when the accelerator is pressed, does that mean it's hooked up correctly? If the solenoid clicks and the cart moves, yes, that means everything's fine. DJ Dizzy Jeff, what's up, man? I'm having a good day. How are you, sir? Oh, Toby Keith passed away. I didn't know that. I haven't seen that. Did that happen today? I mean, I haven't been on the internet. I've been at work. That's what you mean by RIP Toby. Yeah, he had stomach cancer. Yeah, RIP Toby Keith, man. I didn't realize that. I play some of his songs. I play the guitar. I don't never mention that. I mean, I can talk about golf carts, guitars, guns, whatever y'all want to. But one of my hobbies is guitar, and I played a lot of Toby Keith songs are in my repertoire. So yeah, that's sad. I know he's been fighting it for a while. Bart Gilman, Tim, I ordered a new motor from your company. Lovely Maddie took care of me. I have new batteries on a 99 Yamaha G16, and I'm still getting a squeal from the motor area. Check the hub, splines are good. This only happens when cart is under a strain. New motor, new batteries, squeal from the motor area. Well, there's lots of, if you're sure that it's coming from the motor area, if you're sure about that, there's lots of bearings in there but normally a bearing doesn't cause a squeal. Normally a bearing will cause a metal to metal grinding kind of noise. So a squeal coming from that area, I would want to make sure that it wasn't something else making the noise, is what I'm saying. I'd want you to be sure that it wasn't the controller that was making that noise, and it wasn't the motor itself. Toby Keith passed away this morning. Ricky Smith yesterday. Fish. What is the diode for? When I installed my Navitas with HD controller, they said to remove the diode. You see, that's Navitas and Alltrax. They have, you know, they recommend doing things a certain way. They don't require the diode. The diode is actually there to keep electricity from flowing backwards. It doesn't want electricity to flow, but it won't allow it to flow. It only allows it to go in one direction. That's what a diode does. But if Navitas, if their instructions say no need for the diode, then don't do it. Helpless says yesterday, 3 a.m., Jeffrey. He was 62. Dang. Easy Mike cancer. Yeah, I know he was fighting stomach cancer, if I'm not mistaken. Keith says, now I want to see your favorite guitar. Well, I tell you what I have, Keith. I have a Martin. I have a Martin acoustic, and I have a Takamine acoustic. I have, like, you know, the Garth Brooks Takamine with the cutaway acoustic that he always has. I couldn't stand that, not having that, so I have one of those. I sold all my electric stuff years ago, but I do have two nice acoustics. I don't hardly ever play that Takamine. I always play the Martin. Up, I have a 95. Eric, what are we talking about there? Man, he says they have for 96 and up. I got to back up, Eric, see what we're talking about. Called now on hold. Oh, okay. You're talking about forward and reverse switch. 96 and up, and you have a 95. Talking about a club car? Eric? Tell you what I'm going to do, Eric. I'm going to write something down here. Where's my pen? I don't think that there is any difference, Eric. You might have to move your forward and reverse switches over for it to be plug and play, but as far as the mechanical mechanism itself, I'm fairly certain that's going to be the same. Now, if it comes with micro switches on it and they're not the same, then take those off and put yours on there, because I believe the backing plate and everything else is exactly the same. But before you order it, I kind of wish you'd let me look at something. I don't have my pen right now. I'd like to look that up for you to make sure, or I'll talk to Manny about it. Jeffrey says, yes, stomach Martians are made about 50 miles away from me. Actually, me and Dave talked about that, Fish. We talked about that. He's supposed to be working on a song, and we'll see what we can come up with. Manny, I'm gonna talk to you about that forward and reverse switch when I get off the air here. I want to see about that 95, 96 thing. Harry Fike says he plays Martin. HD28 VR, been playing for 57 years. Cool. To run. See you next Tuesday, Jeffrey. All right, Jeffrey, thank you. All right, yeah, Eric, wait for me to be able to do a little research on that. Let me check Facebook over here. DJ Dizzy Jeff says it's 50 and sunny here in Kentucky. Yep, that's what we're looking at here. DJ. Sunny, we're probably over 50 though. I think we're closer to 60 in the afternoon. I'm going to have to kind of speed it up here. Marcus. I installed AGM batteries in my Club Car Precedent. I have a Club Car Power Drive 3 charger. My batteries are not charging equally and to the level I think they should be. I'm told the charger I have is not appropriate for AGM batteries. I'm also questioning the OBC since they're not charging equally. Any advice? That is correct, Marcus. That charger is not correct for AGM batteries. and your OBC is not correct for AGM batteries. So you got two things that are going against you there. Now, as far as it not charging equally, I don't understand all that. I mean, they're connected in series, they're going to charge equally, but no, you would need to get an AGM appropriate battery charger, an AGM appropriate battery charger, and to be honest, you'd have to bypass your onboard computer also, because it's telling the charger what to do. It's only 65 and really windy in the Keys. William Rizzo. Clifford Moore. I have 2009 Star 48 volt golf cart. There's no power, but batteries holding charge. We found gray 8-pin wire with nothing on it, but looks like bead solder. I'm not going to be familiar with a 2009 Star, Clifford. That's going to, see, that's what the problem is with some of those overseas cars, is that you're not going to find a lot of people that work on them. Those parts are so, you know, cause anytime I would think about buying one of those, that would be my first question, would be, you know, what is the parts availability? Like when something goes wrong with this, am I going to be able to get it? Am I going to be able to get it fixed or what? But you're going to have to look for a wiring diagram, Clifford. Go to one of the golf cart forums for a wiring diagram. Even for a Star, it's a possibility. The biggest golf cart forum out there is buggiesgonewild.com. Buggiesgonewild.com. I don't mind giving them a shout out because I use them myself. I have for years. Buggiesgonewild.com. And there is going to be a Star section in there. Try that and see if you can find a wiring diagram to figure out where that goes, because I don't know off the top of my head. Helpless says, now I can't wait to hear the Golf Cart Garage virtual band. My favorite guitar is my Taylor 814. Bought it around 1955. Also played for 57 years. Cool, Keith. My favorite one is my little Martin. It's I have a Martin, but it's not an expensive Martin. Did you know that, I don't know, might not be aware, Martin actually has an inexpensive line of guitars. They have, you know, of course they've got a big, real expensive, but they have an inexpensive line. I've got a Martin that when it was I bought it probably, 15 years ago, something like that. It was about a $600 guitar, but it is a Martin. It's a real Martin. It's in dash by key. Oh, that's where the wire is that you found? Well, you're gonna have to get a specific wiring diagram and take a look at that. Tommy Bedford, heck, I'm a musician too. I play the radio. At the gym, got to pick things up and put them down. Oh, okay, Big Mike. Hit that gym. See y'all next week. All right, thanks for stopping in, man. Okay. Number 7, I need to speed up, don't I? This is from Nathan. My cart will not move. I am fortunate enough that my brother also has a 48-volt club car, but newer. I've plugged my charger into his and it works. I cannot get his charger or my charger to work on mine. Now it seems like I want to move every once in a while, but then nothing. Would the OBC cause this? Looks like everything is pointing to the OBC, but not quite sure. Thank you in advance, bro. Yes, if you're Nathan, if your batteries are not completely dead, then it's very likely that the OBC, that could explain everything, if your batteries aren't completely dead. Number 8. This is from Jimmy. I have a 99 E-Z-GO cart. It appears to have some new front end parts. The problem is loose steering. Any ideas of what may be causing this? 99 E-Z-GO, that's before the steering box on top of the axle deal. There's there's moving parts in there. There's moving parts that wear out, and here's one of them. Look at this. There's a big old bronze bushing on that steering. You look at that steering and you'll see where I'm talking about. You'll see where this goes. But this is a wearable part and it can cause slack in your steering. My 96 has the same kind of steering. Number 9. Do I need to do something to prevent batteries from dying during winter months? Is charging them enough? Yeah, that's enough. Charging them is enough. Yeah, just you don't want to not do anything. You either want to charge them manually, and go out there every couple of weeks and charge them again, or you want to get a charger that has a storage mode like the Summit 2 that we sell at Golf Cart Garage, and it goes into storage mode and it will do all that for you automatically. But yeah, you just don't want to not do anything, or they'll continuously go down. Tommy, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Are there any golf carts to stay away from? All right. I don't know. I don't know how honest I should be there. I'll tell you this. You can't go wrong with Club Car, E-Z-GO, and Yamaha. You can't go wrong. Club Car, E-Z-GO, Yamaha. That's kind of like Ford, Chevrolet, GMC, Dodge, a Ram, whatever they're called now. You can't go wrong with those. And the reason is because Club Car, E-Z-GO, and Yamaha are in constant competition with each other, and they always have been. And if one of them does something that's successful, the other one's going to do it. If not immediately, then soon after. And they're all three constantly pushing the envelope, and so you can't go wrong with those three. Now, all the other ones, that's up to people. There's not near as much long-term data on all the other ones. That's what is a good thing to have, is long-term data. Number 10. This is the last scheduled question. Helpless. I'll tell you in just a second where you can get one. Number 10 is from Brandon. I have a Yamaha Gas G16. It has a ton of sway. It was raised about 2-inch lifts. Bought it that way. I think the shocks must be worn out. What do you think? Thanks for your help. Yeah, Brandon, Yamaha have a tendency, when you put a lift kit on them, they become really swayable because they don't have leaf springs. They have coilover shocks in the rear. So what they make is they make a more stiffer, heavy-duty coilover shock. So that's what you need to do to combat that top-heavy swaying issue. Robert Lattimore says, unless you have a Yamaha G8 like mine and can't find parts for it. I've run into that recently with a couple of customers that have a G2s and G8s, and they can't find, what is it? What is it called? Is it an igniter or a CDI unit or something on those that is not available anymore? And it's causing a lot of people some problems because those are some good cars. G2/G8s, that's a good car when they work right. I had one for years. The wire's gray, definitely some kind of power. I checked with voltmeter and it's fused with 20 amp fuse on top controller. How about park car? They still, don't see a lot of those. Used to be Columbia Park Car, and they were part of Harley Davidson. It was they were popular a long time ago. They're not near as popular now. But I would check, and just my question would be about parts availability. On any of those, anything else. It's bare beside key. Well, it's up to you if you want to try that, Clifford, because I do not know off the top of my head, especially on a star. That's why I'd want you to get in a star thread on that Buggy's Gone Wild and see if someone else can point you to the wiring diagram for that. All right, Helpless, she was asking me about the hats. You haven't seen this graphic, Helpless? There's a hot links in the description that take you right to the hats. And we sell them at Golf Cart Garage. You can buy one if you'd like. You're welcome to. We give away hats on this channel also occasionally, and we probably have a giveaway coming up. I will let you know when that will be in advance. Okay, that was the last scheduled question. We got a few minutes to do Let's See. Let's see some carts. This episode of Let's See is a friend of mine who got a hold of this cart, and it's not mine. It's not my cart. I did not do it. I did not build it. He brought it by my shop to show it to me, and we took it off the trailer, and I took some pictures of it. Some of you may find this interesting. You ready for this? Bam. This is a Harley Davidson. The front cart is a Harley Davidson, and it's got he fabbed up a trailer hitch that hooks to the front wheel of the pull cart, which used to be a Harley Davidson also. This was a 3-wheel Harley Davidson. Now it's just a trailer for a couple of people to ride in as the front Harley Davidson pulls the trailer. Let me show you this other picture. Look how clean that thing is. That's the pull cart. It's a complete restore on a 1970 something Harley Davidson 2-stroke, leather seats. He bought it because somebody was in a bind, and I think he ended up selling this whole rig for about 10 grand. I mean, that's how well this restore was done. It was down to nuts and bolts on this. I just thought it was cool as it could be. But they pulled all the guts out of this 3-wheeler so to lighten it up. So it's now just a pull trailer. All right. If you would like to contact us at Golf Cart Garage, you are welcome to. Here is the phone number and the email, support@golfcartgarage.com. If you have any suggestions or you have any questions or anything like that, that's how you get in touch with us at golfcartgarage.com or Golf Cart Garage. Oh, I didn't turn off the Let's See thing. Now it's off. If you would like to purchase something from Golf Cart Garage, you can use this coupon. You can get 5% off any parts you order if you use the coupon code TIM18, TIM18. This code expires on February 20th of 24. That's of this month, all right. Get 5% off any parts you order. Okay, so that's still active, TIM18. Paul Fortune, is the lights on a Club Car DS wiring system have a reducer? If it's a 48 volt Club Car DS, then it probably does, Paul, but if it's a 36, it doesn't necessarily have to have a reducer. If it's a 36 volt system, then the lights can be hooked across 2 6-volt batteries. Greg Elliott says, wow, that's a steal. Well, this was a while ago. This was this was pre-COVID. Let's just put it that way. It was definitely pre-COVID that with those prices I'm talking about. Just checking, making sure I'm getting everything. Did the hats, did the content, did Let's See, did Harleys. All right. The title of this episode was Lithium Range. I don't see why it wouldn't help us. They've never told me that it did not work for hats. Seems like that would be an obvious question. That's a good question, but I've never been asked that before. I hate to say yes, and it turns out it doesn't for some reason, because no one's ever asked me that before. I'd try it. Try it. I would. Paul Fortune says it's a 48 volt. Well, if it's a 48 volt, then it probably has a voltage reducer, because the lights would not work off of 8, and they won't work off, well, they'll work off of 8, but they won't be very bright. And they'll work off of 16 and be super bright, but they'll be on the verge of blowing themselves up. You know, they won't last very long on not 14, 16, 8 and 8, 16. Clifford Moore, thank you so much. I did everything you said. I'm good at electric things, just learning to work on golf carts. I found bad battery. Replace. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. Well, I'm glad I could help, Clifford. Good job, man. All right. I think that's about it for this week, guys. Don't have anybody else on Facebook. Everything is looking good. We made it to the end. I know we had some buffering going on, but looks like we made it through without losing internet. Like I said earlier, the title of this was Lithium. The title of this episode was Lithium Range, where we talk about lithium range. And just remember, those small packs, those small amp hour packs, I would only recommend those for completely stock golf carts, and they're going to give you, according to some data that we have from one of the viewers here, they're going to give you at least as much range as a good set of lead acid, because you know your car's going to lose all kinds of weight, and that's going to help you with your range too. So they'll give you at least as much range as a good set of lead acid in a stock golf cart. Now, if you plan on future upgrades, you plan on lifting it, taller tires, who knows what you're going to do in the future to your golf cart. You might ought to think about getting a little bit bigger one. 105 amp hour is a very popular size, and that's why, because that's good enough for slightly lifted cars. Dakota recommends, I mean, I've got an email in my box right now from Dakota where I was asking their tech team some questions about their, you know, what would they recommend, and they have a 135 amp hour option that they recommend for lifted cars. Eric Boucher, I'll be waiting. Yeah, I'm gonna get off of here, Eric. I'm gonna talk with Manny, and I'm gonna do a little research, and I'm gonna see what we can come up with. So yours, correct me if I'm wrong, Eric. Yours is a 95. Is that what it is? Or is that the discrepancy? Or yours is older than 95? Helpless. Have an awesome week, folks. Great show as usual. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Helpless. Thank you for participating and showing up every week, Helpless. Appreciate the Arkansas shout outs. Kurt says I still vote for twice a week. Well, we may end up going back to that, Kurt. I don't know. This is just all part of the testing and everything that we're doing with the Gearheads on Demand service that we have. So it's all part of that. So we're going to see how this goes, and we'll see what happens next couple of months or so. '95 DS48. All right, I got it, Kirk. Eric. 95 DS48. All right, and this is a series card, and you need a heavy-duty forward and reverse switch. All right, I'm going to have to look into that. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody for showing up. I appreciate your participation. Please like and subscribe. Sir Walter, if you put two lithiums in parallel, how does the amp hour work? Double or stay the same? Two lithiums in parallel, the amp hour doubles. That is correct. The amp hour doubles. So two lithiums in parallel is twice as much range as one lithium. You know, at the same voltage. Voltage stays the same. Amp hour doubles in parallel. In series, voltage goes up. Amp hour stays the same. All right, guys, I will see everybody on Tuesday. Tim Taco Tuesday, Tim Talks Tuesday. Tim Talks on Tuesday. Ever how you want to remember it. All right, thank you for coming, guys. Golf Cart Garage, YouTube and Facebook Golf Cart Garage is now closed.